Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make Mexican rice. This is a very basic recipe and a staple in Mexican cuisine. One that I really like to make at home and that my family really enjoy. You can make it simple or you can do it with veggies. I also recently changed stove from a gas stove to an induction one. So I'll show you how to make it using a gas stove, and at the end I will show you the adjustments you will need to make if you're using an induction one. So I live in England and I have found it very hard to get tomatoes that actually stay in the rice as they do normally in Mexico. So what I did is that I just swapped fresh tomatoes for tin tomatoes, and these actually work well. So one thing that you have to bear in mind is when it comes to making rice, the ratio for making that is 1 part of rice to 2 parts of liquid. So in this case I am using tin tomatoes. In this whole tin, I use it as one measurement of fluid. So say that you want to use this cup to measure the rice, or you want to use this cup to measure the rice, or this cup, which is normally the measuring cup that I will normally use to measure the rice. Whichever cup you decide to use is the cup that you need to use to measure the water. So for example, if you want to make 1.5 cups of rice, which will normally be enough for a family of 5, then that means that you will need 3 cups of fluid. In that case, you will need 1 of this plus 2 of this, or 2 of this, or 2 of this, depending on which one is the one that you use to measure the rice. Now you just have to bear in mind that I have never made rice in a cup as big as this. That will give you a huge amount of rice. So normally what I do is measure this one just because it's the one that I have tested for the quantity of water and it's very precise. So if you want to ensure that your rice doesn't burn, just try to stick to the measuring cups and you will do just fine. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so for more recipes. Now without further ado, let's begin.
We are going to start by pouring 2 tins of tomatoes into a blender, as well as 4 cups of water. You can also use vegetable or chicken stock if you have this, and it will add extra flavor to your rice. I am reserving the 4th cup just because my blender doesn't have enough capacity. Now put a small piece of onion and blend it all up. Now with the same measuring cup, I'm going to do 3 cups of basmati rice just because I want to have enough for several meals during the week. And now put a big pan on the stove on the highest heat with some oil. And once it's hot, you need to start frying the rice. Make sure that you stay with your rice to make sure it doesn't burn. And once it starts changing color, you are going to pass your liquid through a sieve. Make sure that you mix it just so that the bottom doesn't stick to the pan. I am going to put 3 tablespoons of chicken stock. You can also use the Maggi cubes. Either vegetable or chicken will do. Now as you can see, it has started to boil, so now I'm going to reduce the heat all the way down and cover the pot. Now you're going to set your timer for 20 minutes exactly. Once the time has passed, turn it off and just let it sit there for about 10 minutes. As you can see, this rice hasn't stuck to each other and it's not burnt either. I decided to make it plain just because I was going to use it as a base for vegetable broth. And about 3 cups of the dry rice will give you roughly 6 liters of the finished product. Now if you're using an induction stove, just do everything as we did. In this case I'm putting vegetables just because I wanted to have veggies in it. The only thing that's going to be different is the setting that you're going to put in. This time you have to let the rice come to a boil on the number 8 setting. Once that is reached, you're going to cover the pot, and now you're going to reduce the temperature to level 6, and you're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Once the timer has gone up, you're going to have to reduce the temperature to 3 for another 10 minutes. Make sure you don't open the lid at any point. Once it's finished, you're gonna let it sit and rest for about 5 to 10 minutes.
So that is it, guys. I really hope this recipe was helpful to you. Perhaps even consider sharing it with family and friends. Until my next video, stay strong, healthy and happy.